all started for me when I was out for Comic-Con last year while I was promoting Death Race with Jason Statham. And it was my first time ever going to Comic-Con, and I seen all of that energy out there, and I just could not believe how much passion the comic book community have, and it really moved me in a way like nothing else. I'm really wanting to make sure that I bring something to this industry that's unique and one of a kind, and I think we've been able to do that.
I've been a lifelong comic book fan, and because of Tyrese's career, it was kind of like this natural progression with the movies that he was making, that he was tapping into that audience, from Transformers to Death Race and stuff like that. And so, our philosophy was they want him to play Luke Cage, but they don't want him to own it. So we decided, let's build a comic book around his brand and around the sensibilities of what he is as a star and his audience.
I'm real fired up, man. I think it's a real blessing to jump into this world and then have such a great team in place.
I am Tone Rodriguez, and I'm a comic book artist, and I work on Mayhem. This is where Mayhem happens. Come on in. Welcome to the studio. Movie posters, Wonder Woman. Here we have everybody working. Got Will Wilson here on the computer. Mike Lee is diligently looking over his shoulder and assuring us that everything is happening exactly the way it needs to be done. And that's my spot, the messiest place in the entire place. So now it's time to go to work. I first got involved with Mayhem after Will Wilson, who is one of the writers on the book, had been meeting with Mike Lee and Tyrese. He looked through my portfolio. They kept coming back to this one piece, and he literally would stop there and he goes, "What's that guy's story?" He was just drawn to the character. He just really felt that that was his guy. The Enforcer was a character that both Will and I had put together. We ran it in the back of a book called The Undead Task Force, or the UTF. That was the first appearance of the gentleman we have now referred to as Mayhem. When I get the scripts, I'll go over them and see what there is in there that I know I can absolutely 100% do. So I'll just go ahead and just work my thumbnails right on the page. A lot of the violence that I like to show is stuff that you don't really see, stuff that just kind of happens slightly off panel, or it just seems to be off frame. The violence in the next two issues is actually a little more subdued because we're introducing, all these wonderful high-tech gadgets, the guns with the rubber bullets or the non-lethal rounds. The action will be higher, the violence will actually be lower. Thanks for coming to the studio. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking up all this wonderful time. I got work to do, so you guys gotta get the up. Bye.
Got a couple of calls, and Tyrese had walked in a week before and said that to one of the staffers that he wanted to meet and talk about this comic book that he was doing. And we set up a meeting, and he rolled in and told me all about the excitement of Project Mayhem. The Tyrese effect is that he is known within music, he's known within films. He can bring in a different buyer that hasn't been exposed to anything in comic books. He has fans everywhere. They'll take the bus, they'll drive in, sometimes 2 hours away, like on the weekends, just to see what it's all about. What is this comic book thing, and when's it coming out? Can we pre-order? So people start calling, orders start coming through. Tyrese will get on the phone and answer the phone and call people back. Those are faces that are not from comic books. They're coming into comic books because of Tyrese, and hopefully they'll stay around and pick up other titles. The fact that he wants to create this particular segment of entertainment and just kind of grow it off of the first Mayhem comic book is, fantastic.
I just wanna fly far away from
welcome y'all to my office. I got Denzel Washington and my man Will Smith, poster from Oprah Winfrey. She sent it when I was on her show. My man Kobe Bryant signed this ball for me here. This is Warcraft. This place really motivates me and inspires me. This is my focus, Mayhem.
They're in the middle of a major corporate mayhem meeting for the comic book. So I'm about to crash the meeting right now.
And he's the mastermind villain, right?
Right.
Like he's not gonna go toe to toe with Mayhem. So I think we should have a real like soldier
We
villain.
need to talk about something, guys. Okay? Listen, I don't want the fact that I'm in my drawers to alarm anybody, okay? This is gonna be me really testing y'all focus right now. But we need to definitely turn it up a notch because back in the day, people like Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee, they did 7 million back in the early 90s. They did 7 million copies. And we doing good. We did good over at Meltdown, over 10,000. We got a bunch of pre-orders, 300-400 copies at a time at each one of these stores, but we're gonna have to turn it up. They're saying that they're doing really well for Mayhem issue #1, but they're saying that issue #2 and issue #3 is gonna fall off. The sales are gonna drop like 95% because that's kind of normal in the comic book industry. The surprise is that Jim Lee is gonna give us an alternate cover for issue #2. So we got 3 different covers. It's gonna be issue #2. We got the cover, the original cover, which is Tone Rodriguez, and then we have the Jim Lee, which is gonna be in black and white, and then we're gonna have the Jim Lee that's in color.
And the black and white will be very rare for a
Every
retailer.
20 issues.
Maybe even every 50.
Jim Lee is also doing the graphic novel wraparound cover. Jim Lee has been giving us the most amazing support that we could ever dream of, especially since he's one of the original founders of Image. I mean, in my mind, the way it's playing out, it's almost like I'm conducting a behind-the-scenes family reunion for all of the founders of Image Comics because I'm kind of communicating with all of them simultaneously, and I'm not making each one of the partners aware that I'm communicating with each other, and so I got some things kind of playing out in my mind that I'm working on. Okay, Mayhem on 3. 1, 2, 3. Mayhem! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.